fifth day session for height and distance. Okay, so let us see the in this class what is your problem and any kind of height and distance problem, how to tackle that. Okay, and we need to ensure that the basic values of sine, cos, tan you should be knowing for 30, 45, 60 and 0 degree, 90 degree. Right now, let me explain. Let me take one by one the questions directly. Okay, the topic for today is height and the distance. Right, let me zoom a little. Height and distance, yes, I think it's properly visible. Let me take the question one by one. Let me take the first question from NCRT. Okay, the question is that a ladder 15-meter long. Okay, the question in the first question what we have taken, the ladder is 15-meter long. Okay, just reaches the top of a vertical wall. Okay, so let us say if this is the ladder, then definitely this will be leaning against a wall. If we are considering this as a single point of contact, because it's not possible to draw the three dimensional over here, then the point of contact of this ladder on this wall, let us say this is A and this is nothing but your wall. This is your wall. Okay, wall is like this, right? Now let us say the point of contact of ladder leaning against the wall is A, right? A ladder is 15-meter long, so the length of the ladder is given to you, that is 15. This is the length of the ladder, and let us say the point of contact on the ground is B, right? This is the ladder. Now students, 15-meter long ladder leaning against the top of a vertical wall. So the wall, the maximum height of this wall is till A only. Okay, so this is the point of contact of the top of the vertical wall, right? If the ladder makes an angle of 60 degree with the wall, find the height of the wall. So this ladder, if we are considering this as a single point, then this ladder is making an angle of 60 degree with the wall. That means this angle is given to you as 60, right? Find the height of the wall. So the height of the wall need to be find out. Okay, so in such question students, I am saying we need to understand first of all that here you can see if the wall is definitely standing erect on the ground. Okay, so the angle, this angle will be 90 degree. If this is your ground, if this is your ground, then on the ground the wall is standing, right? And this is the angle of 90 degree which is made on the ground. Now the height of the wall need to be found. So if you are recalling the trigonometrical ratios, so what is the relation which will be giving the relation between this and the height of the wall? Let us assume the height of the wall as x. Let us assume it, right? That's this is x, A to O, right? So if this is x, then the relation between this height and this hypotenuse is given by what? If you recall a right angle triangle, if you recall a right angle triangle where you are applying the trigonometrical ratios and theta is the angle, then opposite to this is this was perpendicular, right? And here it was base, and here it was hypotenuse. So if you just recall this, if you just recall this, then you can see the ratio of this 15, because this is the data given to you, that is the ladder height is 15 meter, right? And we need to find the height of wall. So how to think, how to proceed, that I am trying to explain you. Okay, this question is coming first time, you are not knowing anything on height and distance. Okay, I am considering that. Okay, so though you are not that much of, you all are most smart enough, I know it. Thank you. So just think, just thinking, I'm saying that if somebody is not knowing anything and you are trying to explain him the height and distance, then you just recall this formula. Okay, recall this hypotenuse, perpendicular, base, theta, right? Then here hypotenuse is known to you. 15 is hypotenuse, h. Here the perpendicular need to be calculated, right? So this perpendicular need to be calculated. So perpendicular and height is given by the relation sine theta. Yeah, if you remember, p by h, right? So here perpendicular is the wall. Perpendicular is the wall. So we can say wall, height of wall, or wall height divided by ladder height. Ladder height. Wall height divided by ladder height will be how much? This will be sine theta, isn't it? Because you can see wall height is perpendicular, that is erect on the ground, make an angle of 90 degree. So here this is the wall, right? So high soul maniac h square equal to p square plus b square, definitely this is Pythagoras, perfectly right. So you can see wall height is the perpendicular. In place of the perpendicular, we have taken this perpendicular, the wall height, and after that is divided by the ladder height, right? This is sine theta. But theta should be the angle, theta should be this angle, theta should be this angle, this should be theta. Okay, so don't get confused and don't use this 60 degree over here. We know the sum of all angles of a triangle is 180 degree, right? If the sum of all angles of a triangle is 180 degree, this is 60, this is 90, then what will be the value of this theta? Theta will be simply calculated as sum of all angles of a triangle, which is 180 degree, right? Minus adi value 30 degree. Perfect, you are right. That is 180 degree minus 60 plus 90. Minus 60 plus 90. This will give you 180 degree minus 150 degree, which is coming as 30 degree. So this 30 degree is the value of this theta, right? Now this theta is calculated as 30 degree. 30 degree, right? Now we have seen that sine theta is the ratio of the wall height to the ladder height, if you recall this, right? Then hope you just read in the comics. Okay, this cloud, right? This cloud resemble that you are thinking it. Okay, just on a lighter part. Okay, so 30 degree is the angle. So the theta should be 30, not 60. Make sure, right? So if you take the value of sine 30 degree, this will give the ratio of wall height by ladder height, right? So sine of 30 degree will give you, when you have solved it, you are smart enough, let me also solve, we will match our answers. So sine 30 degree is the wall height which need to be calculated. So let us keep it x as over here as a variable which we are going to calculate, divided by ladder height. Ladder height is 15 meters given to you, right? It's 15 meter. So divided by 15. As I said into the beginning of the class, you need to remember few of the values of sine and cos. Okay, you should remember the value of 0 degree, 30 degree, 45 degree, 60 degree, and 90 degree. If you remember all these five, you are able to calculate tan, cot, and any values. Okay, at least which is coming into your up to this level. Okay, Even till in 11 class also, we are not able going to use the trigonometrical table if you are using few of these values. Okay, but where required you have to. Anyway, we'll not go into that detail. So sine 30, value of sine 30 is how much? How much? 1 by 2, right? So 1 by 2 is x by 15, right? 1 by 2 is x by 15. So that means this will give you the value of x. That means 2 15 by 2. 15 will going to the LHS. 15 by 2 equal to 7.5 meter, which is equal to x, or we can say that is wall. Let me change my pen, it's not working. This is wall height, right? 7.5 meters. So let me see your answer, Divendu. Oh, you are perfectly right. Your answer is perfect. Thank you so much for solving it very correctly. So quickly going to the second question, my dear friends. Okay. The question number 2, which we have taken for today, is that maybe let me take another from. It's a question from a CBSE examination. A vertical tower stands on a horizontal plane. A vertical tower is standing over here. Okay. This is the tower. Let me change the page because the space is very less over here. Okay. So here a vertical tower is given to you. Okay. This is the vertical tower which is given to you, right? So into this question we will see a vertical tower is given to you, stands on a horizontal plane and is surmounted by a vertical flag staff at a point on the plane 70 meter away from the tower. So that means at a point 70 meter away, maybe if this is the tower, then at a point 70 meter away from it, okay, the it is surmounted by a flag staff, right? So that means this is the section for flag staff and this is the remaining tower, right? Now into this question is given that an observer notices. So observer is definitely, we in such conditions just try to understand if this is the ground and tower is standing vertically on the ground, then the observer will be standing on the ground only, but nothing into the air or certain floors of a certain building. Okay. So if the observer is here, let us treat him standing over here, and the point of reference is on the ground. Okay, we are not considering the height of the observer, right? So if the observer notices that the angles of elevation of the top and bottom of the flag staff, okay, so that means from here the top is will be like this, right? Angle of elevation, angle of elevation, that means you are seeing it from here. This is angle of elevation of the top, and this will be the angle of elevation of the bottom of the flag staff, right? Now it's given that 60 degree and 45 degree. So first of all, students, we need to understand which angle is greater. Definitely the angle with a bigger arc is greater. So the bigger one is 60 and the smaller one is 45, right? This is given into the question. This is 45 and this entire one is, this one is 60 degree, right? Now find the height of the flag staff and that of tower. That means height of the flag staff that need to be found and height of the tower. definitely, my dear students, if the height of the tower, if the height of the tower is the entire, this is the entire height, right? Then if you will add 70 meter into the height of flag staff, you will get the height of the tower, isn't it? Right? You will get it. Now, anyway, let us solve it. Any other data is given into this question? This is a question which comes into the CBSE examination in 2014, right? This is examination. See, in CBSE it was coming in 2014. Hi, Vernoron. Hello. Perfectly fine. So let us solve this question. So students, as I said, in this question you are not knowing the height of the flag staff, and that need to be calculated. Okay. So let us assume the height of the flag staff is x. Let us assume this as x. If this height of the flag staff is x, this one, if this one is x, right, then definitely the total tower will be 70 plus x, right? So x equal to height of flag staff, right? Now we need to calculate the value of x. So what we will do, you can see, to solve such questions, you need to, first of all, when you read it, you need not to be panic. Okay, first recall that you are having two things into your hand. You are knowing the values of sine, cos, tan and every trigonometrical ratio for the given angles. Okay, that's why these angles are coming into the multiple of 15 or 30 only, right? So you, as I said earlier, you should remember the value of sine 0, 30, 45, 60 and 90. If you are knowing all the values, all these values for sine, then you can calculate the values of cos, tan, cot, sec, cosec, everyone, right? So just you need to remember only 5 values. Okay. Anyway, let me come to this point. So at first point which I was saying, you are knowing the values of these angles, right? If you are knowing the values, if you are knowing the values of these trigonometrical ratios, this is the point number 1 which you should know, and number 2 which you should know, that the ratio, which trigonometrical ratio should be used at which place. Trigonometrical ratios, you should know that. So if you are knowing these 2 points, then it's very easy to solve any question from height and distance. Any, I am saying you. Okay. How you will be applying these two concepts over here, you can see, right? Students, we are going to calculate the height of flag staff. So if you remember your previous study, there was a right angle triangle. I am again saying the same thing. I'm not, this is nothing new. This was angle theta, this was perpendicular, this was base, and this was hypotenuse. You know the Pythagoras, you are knowing the trigonometrical ratios. Sin theta is P by H, cos theta is B by H, tan theta is P by B, all this, right? If you are just remembering all these things, then as I said, you are knowing, you should know only these two things to solve this question, right? So you are going to calculate the flag height, and the flag height is not known. But flag height is a part of what? Flag height is a part of perpendicular. Flag height is a part, flag staff, height of flag staff is a part of base or a part of hypotenuse. Tell me. Divendu, you are very smart. Yeah, you solved it very early. Okay. Thank you so much. Let us bear with us. We will see how to take up such questions initially. Okay. Thank you. Thank you so much. So, students or my dear friends, here we can see This flag staff, height of flag staff which need to be calculated is a part of perpendicular base or hypotenuse, tell me. Definitely perpendicular. So here you can see the perpendicular is coming in what? It's coming in the ratio of sine theta. It's also coming into the reverse of that, that is cosec, right? And perpendicular also coming into the tan, and also reverse of it, that is cot. So here, my dear students, here what we will do, we are going to use the perpendicular at least. This is confirmed. Perpendicular will be used for sure, right? So we are not going to use cos. We are not going to use cos or sec or whatever, but we are going to use either sine or tan, right? Here you can see perpendicular is a part of, or flag staff is a part of perpendicular, right? So students, into this case we will be using sine, that is confirmed, or tan, any of these. But whenever you're taking the ratio of sine, if you're taking the ratio of sine theta, if you remember this, sine theta was what? Perpendicular by hypotenuse, right? And the hypotenuse was this much. Definitely for the bigger triangle, let us say if this is A, if this is B, and this is, let us say, O, right? Then in the bigger triangle, AO is there, and this is the center point, let us say L. Then definitely OL and AO both are not same. OL is not OL, that is the point of elevation where you are striking it from your eyes, the base of the flag staff, that is OL. This distance is not equal to O to A. You remember what I want to say? I mean to say this gives you an input. What input? That hypotenuse length for both the triangles are different. That's why these are not equal, right? If the hypotenuse length is not equal, then definitely we are not taking any ratio which is covering hypotenuse. Hypotenuse should not be coming into the ratio which you are going to, trigonometrical ratio which you are going to take. Hypotenuse should not come. Make sure this will happen only in tan theta, my dear friend. So now we are going to take only tan theta. That's why we choose this tan theta. Nothing more than that. This is nothing by choice. This is a compulsion, right? So, hi Andrea Di Coste. So here we are going to use tan theta, and how we decided what to use, you understood perfectly, right, my dear friends? So tan theta, we are going to use tan theta. That is confirmed. So we are going to use tan theta for either 45 and 60. But we are taking the smaller triangle, this one, ABL. This is ABL triangle. This is the smaller triangle, ABL. You got it? In the smaller triangle, sorry, OBL, not ABL, OBL. This was OBL. Take tan of 45. Take tan of 45, right? So I am writing in triangle OBL. What will happen? Tan of 45, because it's decided that we are going to use tan only, right? Tan of 45 degree is nothing but BL, which is given to you as 70 meter, right? Divided by BO. BO. So students, from here we are going to calculate the length of BO, because other the value of tan 45 is known to you, that is 1, and 70 is also known. So the height of BO is calculated. BO is nothing but the distance on the ground from the point of observation to the base of the vertical tower, right? This one. So the distance from the point of observation to the base of vertical tower is this one, and this is BO. And from here we are going to calculate, when you put the value of 1045 as equal to 1, right, which is the actual value, then we get the value of BO as 70 by 1 or 70. So that means the distance of the point of observation and the base of the vertical tower is calculated, and that is also equal to 70 meter, right? 70 meter. Now we will be going to use this 70 meter and this tan theta. As I said, the values we are knowing, geometrical ratio which identified as tan theta. This is the tan theta which we are using over here. And how to decide, I already explained in very detail. Okay. So my dear students, my dear friends, now we are going to take the bigger triangle. The bigger triangle means triangle ABO. In the triangle ABO, we will be using this distance of the point of observation to the base of the tower, this 70, right? This 70 we are going to use over here. Now, let me write in triangle ABO. In triangle ABO, what will happen in triangle ABO? What will happen? Tan of, sorry, let me show you. Tan of 60 degree. Tan of 60 degree will be there. Let me show you again. Tan of 60 degree, we have already decided which trigonometrical ratio we are going to calculate. We are going to use. This is tan. So we are going to use tan of 60 degree is equal to AB by BO. Why BO? Because we are knowing it. We calculated it. Right? So tan 60 degree will be AB by BO, and AB is nothing but 70 plus X. 70 plus height of the flag staff. Height of the flag staff is X. That is on the top of the tower or section of the tower on the top. So my dear friend, you can see tan 60 degree is nothing but X plus 70. X plus 70 divided by this BO, that is 70, right? So I'm going to write it. So tan 60 degree in triangle ABO, tan of 60 degree is height of flag staff, that is X, plus height of the tower which was 70 meter divided by this base. The base was nothing but 70, you can see. This was 70. And the value of tan 60 degree, you should be knowing it. Because suppose you are knowing the value of sin 60 degree. Sin 60 degree is what? Root 3 by 2. Am I right? Root 3 by 2. So sin 60 degree is root 3 by 2, and tan 60 degree is sin 60 by cos 60. And cos 60, as I said, you need to remember only for sin. You will be able to calculate all. Hi OP. So here tan of 60 degree will be how much? That will be the value of tan sin 30 degree. Will be the value of cos 60, sorry. So cos 60 degree is 1 by 2. So this will give you the value of tan 60 degree as root 3. No, how I have written it. You do not to remember all the trigonometrical ratios, but if you just remember only these 5 values for sine, you are able to calculate all, my dear friend. So you can see 2 and 2 will be cancelled out, and only root 3 will be left. So root 3 into 70 is the value of x plus 70. So let us solve it. It's very easy for you, my dear friend OP. No problem, we will take the harder one also. Root 3 into 70 is the value of x plus 70, and this will give you the height of the flag staff as 70 times root 3 minus 1. You know the value of root 3, 1.732 minus 1. So 70 into 0.732 will give you the height of the flag staff, right? Sorry, is the height of the flag staff. If you want me to write it or do multiplication, let me. Sorry. 7 2 14, carry 1, 7 3 21, 22, carry 2, 51. 2 3 0. Sorry. So 51.240 meter is the height of the flag staff. Right, my dear friend? Now, what is the height of tower? If the height of the flag staff is calculated, that is 51.240, this one, right? Just add this 70 meter to it. This will give you the total tower height. Hi, OP. You have some doubt? Yes, yes, you can ask, no problem. Sorry. Actually, I'm feeling some cold and cough. That's why I have some facing some issues in the health. Anyway, so 51.240 meter is the height of the flag staff, and tower height, when you add 70 to it, right, this will give you the tower height, right? So students, if you want to, you can ask me the question, OP, maybe into the chat. Let me take a separate question without wasting so much time. This is again question from NCRT. Okay. So from NCRT, I'm just using this question. I'm taking this question. The question is that as observed from the top of a 75-meter tall lighthouse, a lighthouse is there. Okay. And the height of this lighthouse is 75 meters. This is given to you. This is lighthouse. So into this question is given that from the height, this is another question. So as observed from the top of a 75-meter tall lighthouse, the angle of depression of two ships are 30 degree and 45 degree. So let us say this is the lighthouse, and the angle of depression of two ships. The lighthouse is, where is the lighthouse situated? Definitely into the sea or to the coastal area, whatever. It's just is from where the light is thrown to just locate the area around the sea, right? So the lighthouse is located over here, let us see, and there are two ships. There are two ships here and here, let us say. Okay, there are two ships, and in this question the angle of depression of the two ships are 30 degree and 45 degree. So first of all, from the ship, I said from the top of the tower you are observing. Your, let us, I'm not observing and considering the height of the person, but let us say your eye is here and from here you are doing the observation. Then the line of sight will be straight, you know it, because light travels in a straight line, right? So this is the depression. This is the depression you can see here. This is the depression, right? So from here, the angle of the two angles of depressions are 30 degree and 45 degree. That means here you can consider which angle should be greater. Definitely 45 is greater than 30. So the bigger angle over here is 45. And the smaller angle will be 30. But if you write it like this, I did already a mistake over here. You know why? Because it's given that the angle of depression. So what will be the angle of depression? So from here just draw a line parallel to the ground. Okay? When you draw a line parallel to the ground, and if this is the ground, then the angle of depression will be the angle which is made from this line which is parallel to the ground. So this will be 30, not this, and the bigger one, this one will be 45 degree, which is the angle of depression to the two ships. Okay, so you should not take these two angles, but these angles will be considered. Okay, this is the 45-degree angle, right? And this is the 30-degree angle. Now from the, it's given that as observed from the top of a lighthouse, this was the lighthouse, from the top of the lighthouse, the angle of depression of the two ships are 30 degree and 45 degree. You can see these two ships and the angle of depression, right? You know the line concept, lines and angles. Okay, I have a separate playlist also. You already learned it, I'm assuming. So if this is 30 degree and this line is parallel to the ground, then definitely the angle, this angle will be the alternate angle. You can see this is the transversal. Which is the transversal? Let me write it. LP. If LP is the transversal, let me squeeze. If LP is the transversal, then definitely this angle 30 degree will be equal to this angle 30 degree. Alternate angle, isn't it? Two parallel lines, this transversal, right? This is the transversal. So this angle will be equal to 30 degree. So from here you can see the angle of depression which was given to you converted into angle of elevation from the second ship. But the point of observation is changed. The depression was from the top of the lighthouse and elevation is from the second ship or from the ship. Right? Sorry. Similarly, for this 45 degree, the angle of, it is also this depression of 45 degree is converted into angle of elevation of 45 degree over here. Right? This one. Now, if one ship is exactly behind the other, which I have already made, these two ships are behind each other, right? On the same side of a lighthouse. So, this can happen that one ship is in the other side and another ship was on the other side of this lighthouse. Okay, but this is not the case over here. Both the ships are into the same side of lighthouse. If the lighthouse is there here, then into the right side both these ships are present. You can see from here our right hand side, these both the ships are present, right? So this is also qualifying the question condition, right? Otherwise one of the ship could have been on the left side of this lighthouse, right? Now what is the question? If one ship is exactly behind the other on the same side of the lighthouse, find the distance between the two ships. So distance between the two ships, this is ship 1 and this is ship 2. Two ships we have, ship 1 and ship 2, and the distance between them need to be identified. This one, let us say this distance is x, right? I hope I will look your question after this, don't worry. So from here we can see the 75-meter lighthouse is given to you. That means we should know the ratio, the values of the trigonometrical ratio, and which ratio we need to take over here. So my dear students, here you can see the length of the hypotenuse for this right angle triangle, considering this as 90 degree, because definitely the lighthouse is standing erect on the ground, right? Now from here I can see, we can see that exactly the length of the hypotenuse will be different. So we are not going to take any of the trigonometrical ratios. Actually this is a power failure, just wait a little. So from the height, the hypotenuse would not be considered, because this hypotenuse, the length of PL and let us say this is O and PO are different. So we are going to use the ratio which is having the values of this perpendicular and this base. So this will be happening into tan, right? So we'll use the value of tan. So when you take the value of this one, tan 45 degree, this angle, right? And PQ, let us say this is Q. So in triangle PQO, in triangle PQO, what will happen? In triangle PQO, tan of 45 degree is the value of PQ, that is 75, divided by QO. This one, this is QO. This is QO. Right? So from here tan 45, we know the value of tan 45 is 1. So this will give you the value of QO as 75. So the value of QO is calculated as 75. This one. Right? Now from here we can say QO is 75. This pen is creating some disturbance, but no problem. QO is 75, right? Now this has been asked that what is the length of this X, the distance between the two ships, this one. The two ships having a distance of X, let us say. And when you use the tan of 30 degree, this will give you the ratio of PQ, this one, that is 75, divided by 75 plus X. So, in triangle, which triangle? Triangle PQL. In triangle PQ and L. In triangle PQL, what will happen? Tan of 30 degree, this angle I am saying, this angle. Tan of 30 degree will give you the value of PQ divided by QL. And PQ is nothing but 75, your perpendicular. So that is 75 divided by your base is what? This X distance between the ships, plus 75, because this X will be this distance X. So 75 plus X. So just write it, 75 plus X, right? Now, you know the value of tan 30 degree? Tan 30 degree is nothing but 1 by root 3, right? Tan 30 degree is 1 by root 3. This is just simple calculation, let us solve it. Tan 30 degree is 1 by root 3 is equal to 75 by 75 plus X, right? Now when you just solve it, you just get the value of X, that is the distance between the two ships. These are the two ships. This is ship 1, this is ship 2. Now let us solve it. Why to leave it? So when just do cross multiplication, 75 plus x is equal to 75 times root 3, and this will give you the value of x as 75 times root 3 minus 75, which is equal to 75 into root 3 minus 1. Root 3 is 1.732 minus 1. This will be give you 75 into 0.732. So the value of x is, just do this multiplication, my dear friends. This will give you the distance between these two ships, right? This is the distance between two ships, right? Now OP, what's your question? Yeah, please, please. Sure. I'm taking your question only. After that, I will finish the session. The angle of elevation of the top of a tower standing on a horizontal plane from a point A is alpha. Okay. From a point a tower is there. Angle of elevation of the top of the tower over here is alpha. Right? This is your question, OP? Oh, sorry. I'm writing over here and it's not visible. Here, this is the tower and the angle of elevation is alpha. After walking a distance d towards the foot of the tower, that means you have started walking from here, and let us say you reach at this point, right? And this distance is d, you are saying, right? The angle of elevation is found to be beta. From here, the angle of elevation is changed to beta. It is found to be beta, height. So you are asking to find the height of the tower, right? This question I have already, you can go through my playlist, I have already solved and you can see the solution over there. But let me explain the steps how to proceed into this question, my dear friend OP. Okay. Here you can see which relation you are going to use. Definitely the length of this hypotenuse and this hypotenuse will be changing. So we are not going to use the hypotenuse related trigonometrical ratio. So here we are going to use only tan. First of all, you take the value of tan beta. This will give you the length of, let us say if this is O, BO, right? If you take the value of tan beta, this will give you the length of tower. Let us say if this is the tower length which is assumed as x, is equal to x by BO, right? And into the second one, you take the ratio of tan alpha. So tan alpha will give you the ratio of this tower height x divided by BO plus D. BO plus D, right? Now, you can just compare here. X is tan beta times BO, and here also x is tan alpha equal to BO, tan alpha into BO plus D is equal to x. Just equate both these values of x. Just equate for x. You will get the value of BO, isn't it? You will get the value of BO. When you get the value of BO, you are knowing the value of AO, entire AO, right? Then take tan alpha and just put this value of AO, you'll get the value of X, right? Right, OP? Just solve it how I suggested. You'll get your answer. If you are still not getting your answer, drop me the message, okay? In any of my videos, okay? You'll be able to. Hi off boxer, hello. So my dear friends, with this I'm going to close the session because it's almost 50 minutes. I'm trying to not extend the sessions beyond 50 minutes. So thank you for watching OP. I will be waiting for your answer, whether you are able to solve it or not. But definitely you are so sincere and you understand. If you understand the concept of all the concepts of today's class, then you will be able to solve. And I already hinted you what are the steps that need to be followed, right? You want the explanation again, OP? Okay. What I'm saying, if you take tan beta is x by bo, right? Tan beta is x by bo. You can see I've taken this triangle. Into this triangle, tan beta is x by bo, right? Now from here, the value of x is bo times tan beta. You can write bo times tan beta, right? And this should be equated with, if you consider the bigger triangle, this one AOL, let us say, then tan alpha is x by bo plus d. From here, what you will do, the value of x is again compared, and tan alpha times this is equal to tan alpha times bo plus d. So from here you get the value of d, which is acting as a variable over here. If you calculate the value of bo, this one, if you calculate the value of this bo, right, then AB is known to you. Then using the tan alpha, this one, you just put the value of bo plus d, you will get the value of x. X is tower height, which is equal to bo tan alpha times tan alpha multiplied with bo plus d. That is this value of bo which is coming plus d, and this will give you the tower height, right? Hi Niship, Nisep, hello. I think you understood it correctly. Let me know if any doubt and just drop the message. Thank you, my dear friend OP. Thank you. Let us do it. This is nothing much. It's a simple arithmetic calculation. And there are no figures and numbers are there. You can easily do it. I am having that much trust. Actually on Saturdays, Sundays, I'm trying to come in maybe into the daytime, but generally into the morning, I'm coming into the live session OP. Okay, between 6 to 8. Okay. Thank you. Thank you. Let me close the session. Thank you so much, my dear friends. Bye bye. Take care. See you.